Hey, good morning. Oh, old John Davis, Twisted World News here again, 23rd of November, 2019. In there brushing my teeth, or what little teeth I got left. Um, and it crossed my mind. I might have seen it before. I'm not sure. Somebody talking about, but these liberals and socialists thinking these hearings and things. They get these witnesses in there. Democrat Adam Schiff won't let them call in certain witnesses. He stopped them. Not the Democrat, but the Republicans want to call in certain witnesses. They want to go in and find out why Donald Trump was concerned about the Ukraine and Burisma and Hunter Biden and all these. That's what the Republicans want. They want to go in and find out why Donald Trump is concerned about it. But Adam Schiff holds reign on the Intel committee there in the House, and he says, no, we're not going to call in there. We're going to call in the one that support what we want. We're going to call in the ones that give us what we want, basically. So they got them. They get those witnesses, Adam Schiff's and the Democrat Party's chosen witnesses. It's funny, and they get them in there and they get to question them and whatever, and then the Republicans, get to question them, and it's, how the stuff works. I know you might have seen some of it. And they get get to question them, and then these the liberals and socialists, they hang on little words. Hang on little words. Republicans can ask a question, and they'll tell them, no, we haven't asked them, do you have any direct information that you heard the president say this or do this? Do you have anything? Do you have any proof? Something, a direct word that we can know that this actually took place? And they said, no, I have no evidence of that. I have no proof of that. I have no first-hand knowledge of that. I don't know this. I don't know. I can't prove the president done this wrong. I can't do, whatever. And but the Democrats, they get to question them, and they'll question them in a different direction, in a different way, twist it a little bit, and twist it, and they'll say, well, a witness may say, well, I have concerns. And it's crazy. It's crazy. They may say, I have concerns. And then you got the Democrats who Adam Schiff's eyes will go, what are you concerned about? You get the picture. Adam Schiff, man, I'll tell you what, is that a piece of work or what? And but anyway, you get Chuck Todd and these NBC, ABC, CBS, and you get these different newscasters and broadcasters from the liberal socialist side that's already sold their honor out and all this stuff, and they get in there and they'll wait for a word. They'll wait for a word, and they'll say, I have concerns, and their eyes go, concerns, bombshell. They go crazy, man. They go nuts over a word concerned or what is it? One of those guys coming. I forget to use the word he used all the time. He had no proof of anything, but he had what was it? He assumed. He assumed this from what someone said here or this one said over there. I assumed. And the Republican Party, questioned him. Said he says it's assumed, and who was it? One of the Republican representatives. Man, you got nothing. You assume this. You have nothing. You have nothing. But I assume. But then the Democrats ask them, and they'll speak one little word. Well, I was concerned, or I thought maybe that this could, and the Democrats' eyes get big, and those newscasters and broadcasters go, bombshell. It's crazy, man. It's nuts. It reminds me of the movie. I think it might have been Dumb and Dumber, or or it might have been Cable Guy, or whatever it was. Jim Carrey played in it, and he's hitting on this woman and trying to get connected with her, and he says, "What's the chances of me and you getting together or something?" Now, I've never watched all the way through with either one of them movies and some others, but what's the chances of me and you getting together you know? And she says, like 1,000,000 to 1, and he goes, "There's a chance." That's what it reminds me of. There's a chance. And that's the way these liberals and socialists are gathering up on these little words. I assumed, or I was concerned, and they go, "There's a chance." God, can you imagine basing an investigation on stuff like that? It's crazy, man. I'll tell you what. These Democratic Party, it's kissed the rear end of liberalism and socialism and everything else. Is so help me. It's common sense has went the way of the dodo for them. It's just, it's like, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like when you're out walking in the woods and you're carrying your gun and you jump a pheasant or a turkey and you're not ready for it. It kind of startles you for a second, and you're not ready for it, and all you actually get to see is a bird taking off, a feathered thing taking off, and its wings going. You don't have time to do anything. And that's what these Democrats' common sense has turned into. It's crazy, man. It's literally crazy. I'm having a little trouble with my lungs here the last 2 or 3 days. But it's just what crossed my mind, you know, when I was in there brushing my teeth and I thought that movie come to part, and Jim Carrey, you know, hitting on this woman, trying to get connected with her, you know, and he says, "What's the chances of me and you kind of?" And she's like 1,000,000 to 1. And he says, "There's a chance." And that's the way these Democrats are acting, man. Concerned. There's a chance. People, you've got to realize. You have to realize where this is right now. The Democrats have had their hands in a lot of poop. A lot of stuff went on. A lot of crime. A lot of jiving and conniving. All kinds of stuff went on. All kinds of stuff took place. They're in trouble. Justice is bearing down on them. It's getting closer and closer by the day, or at least by the week. It's getting closer and closer. See, Rudy Giuliani, he says he has documents from Ukraine that showed that Hunter Biden and officials over there, whether Burisma or government officials, he says he has documents showing they were conniving together. They were screwing things. They were screwing people's money. They were doing things illegal. That's what President Trump has tried to do. He's tried to find that corruption. get the corruption out. America was putting out hundreds of millions or billions of dollars to help those people, and you had perverts over there sucking it up. Ukraine was not getting the things that they were needing. Perverts were sucking it up. There was the real concern. Donald Trump is trying to stop the friggin' garbage, the waste, the things taking place that shouldn't be happening. America footing the bill around the world for people sucking up America's funds. We're $20 trillion in debt, and perversions would let all of our money go into things that we have no business funding. Perverts would waste every dime we got. You have to realize, people, there are people out there that are actually want to crash your economy. They actually want to dump the dollar to satisfy some bonehead, poop-smelling idea for an agenda or a functioning socialist system to come to life. You have to realize that there are people on your own soil that actually are willing to steal your friggin' income and your retirement to have their way. To have their way. You have to realize that, people. God told me back 7, 8 years ago. He told me, they're crashing your economy. A few weeks later, he spoke to me again. He said, you're being subdued. I mean, let's get down to where the nitty gritty, the rubber meets the road. I don't care who tells you what. God told me they're crashing your economy. You're being subdued. If someone tells you different than what I'm telling you now, they're lying through their teeth to you. They're lying through their teeth to you. So it makes no difference what anybody says. There are people, there are associations, there are agencies, there are countries, there are different kinds of things taking place that want to crash, that want to smother out America's currency. And they're alive in the world. I mean, it's hard to grasp. Really is. I think about it, and I can't hardly, sometimes I just can't hardly wrap my mind around the thought that someone actually would want to destroy the lives of millions upon millions of people just to have their friggin' thinking satisfied. That's a pitiful thing to have to grasp. It really is. But it's out there. You have to realize this, people. The Democratic Party, the liberals, the socialists, they cannot flinch. Van Jones, a few years ago, Glenn Beck showed the video, Van Jones saying we will either win or be crushed. Now you see how dire that is? We will either win or be crushed. That's dire. You either win or you freaking had to lick. Bad news. Bad news. The bread is molded. You've had to lick. You can call it anything you want. They cannot flinch. If they flinch, they're deader than a doornail. The Democratic Party cannot flinch. They're going down. Their ratings, their support. See, they're depending on the undecided voters and all this stuff. Well, they're losing them. Polls and everything else are saying they're losing the undecided. Democrats, there's Democrats that have been Democrats for years, man. They're leaving the Democratic Party. He said, hey, we're getting on Trump's side. They're losing. If they flinch, if they bat an eye, man, they're going to get hit. They're going to hit, and they're going to get hit hard. Justice is bearing down. They either stick to their guns and not flinch and have a little bitty chance of surviving, or they flinch and they go down hard. That's what you're looking at. That's what you're looking at. If they flinch, they go down hard. They can't back off. They can't back off. They talk themselves into a spot. They're between a rock and a hard place. They can't back off. Listen, I'd say Nancy Pelosi's. Say she, when she goes to lay down to sleep at night, she's sitting there. Oh God, what have I done? What have I done? Oh Lord, what have I done? I've let him shift talk me into this. Oh God, what have I done? I've said it once and I'll say it again. These people committed treachery and treason against the innocent, the upright, and the helpless. That sums it up. They committed treachery and treason against the innocent, the upright, and the helpless. David said, the wicked plot behind closed doors to capture my soul. God said, you sacrifice the innocent. You shed innocent blood and you persecute the righteous. The wicked plot behind closed doors to capture my soul. Liberalism has filled the hearts and minds of people with poop. It's coaxed them in to slipping into a Nazi uniform and doing the atrocious thing. People of honor and justice and respect and regard and decency, people of godly moral values and truth, they are deplorable now. They're no longer the respected. If you talk to Hillary Clinton and her bunch of clony perverts, it's the decent, it's the truthful, the honest, the just, the righteous. It's those people that are deplorable. It's not the lying cheat, the pervert, the rapist, the thief, the manipulator, the murderer. It's the decent that's deplorable. It's the honest that's deplorable. It's the truthful that's deplorable. It's not the pervert that's out there and they're knocking up women and they're murdering little babies and they're standing at the corner waiting for someone to come by. They can stick a knife to their throat or a gun to their head and say, "Give me your money." It's not those. It's not that rapist and that's deplorable. They want to call me and you the decent. They want to call us deplorable. We're not the ones out there trying to manipulate and take advantage of everybody, but yet we're deplorable. There you have it. There you have it. The Bible said the time would come that people would call good evil, and they would call evil good. Doesn't that sound like what I just explained to you? What Hillary Clinton, she come out and got real bold and says, "Oh, those honest, decent people, they're deplorable. They back Donald Trump. They're deplorable." Barack Obama, racial hatred was basically dead in America, man. I mean, you had little pockets of this or that here and there, but that stuff was basically dead. And Barack Obama gets on the scene and he says, "They don't like me because I'm black. I'm black, they don't like me. Oh God, if you only knew how they hate me." You know what the Bible says? The Bible says the mark those that speak divisions among you. Mark those that are always up there figuring out angles to divide and separate. Mark those that are up there that have this thing going on in them that would weaken the unity. Mark those. Listen, the Barack Obamas, the Hillary Clintons, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Adam Schiffs, people like that, the Chuck Todds, the Van Joneses, the CBN, not CBN, but the CNNs, the ABCs, the NBCs, the New York Times, Washington Post, West Virginia's Washington, West Virginia's Charleston Gazette. The Bible says, mark those that speak divisions among you. Mark the ones that are conniving. Mark the ones that are behind closed doors, plotting to capture your soul. Mark those that have intrusive, abusive intentions. Well, I assumed I suspected or I was concerned there's a chance. Have a good one.